Did you like door knocking? Because, ooh, I did not.
As a young JW, you're going door to door with your parents preaching the good news. And at some point, you're expected to begin talking to the people at the door. So you start knocking and have your own presentation. Let me just tell you, I had no idea what I was doing at 10, 11 years old, knocking on people's door, talking about the Bible, a very complex, nuanced discussion. And here I was, my heart palpitating, feeling like my hands were shaking. I felt like I was levitating off the ground because I would be shaking so badly. And I had no idea what that was. I just thought it was like some kind of excitement. I didn't know it was anxiety, but I was probably in fight or flight for hours on end. Anyway, and back then, to make it even worse, when I was younger, back in the 80s when we were going door to door, we had to ask for money. So the J-dubs of recent, they have no idea what it's like to ask people for money for the worldwide work and to build kingdom halls, etc. Very uncomfortable. I think that I can probably count on my hands the amount of times that I placed literature. And when I did, I was really proud of myself because it was so hard for me to do. And I believe that's because I, number one, didn't know what I was talking about. But number two, like, I was being forced to do it. This is not something I'd want to do. And I would never expect or want someone else to have to do what I'm doing when I don't like it, right? And that's what you're doing. You're going to somebody's door to tell them, hey, you got to do what I do in order to get like to this everlasting life. And that's really unfair that I was trying to bring people into it. Anyway, here's something I want to tell people, and I'm angry that I just found out. So I'm finding out from all these XJWs, y'all were lying on your time card. Y'all were beefing up your time. And I never did that because I was always too afraid of what Jehovah would do to me. And y'all motherfuckers were out here lying about how many hours y'all were getting. I wish I'd have known that. I'd have just made some shit up. But I was always trying to fussing and fighting to get 15 minutes here and there to get my 12, 15 hours a month. Anyway, now you know children are being forced to go door to door to do things that they're uncomfortable doing, but they're told that they like to do it because otherwise they're not going to please their parents. And every child wants to make their parent happy. It's child labor. I don't like it. Neither do I. Here's the thing, as a Jehovah's Witness child, regardless if you like it or not, you do it. You have to do it. There's not a choice. So you're volunteering your time, but you're volunteering your time because you don't have a choice. Your parents make that decision for you. Now, when I was a kid, like I said, I would have to ask for donations. They don't do that anymore. They will still take donations at the door, but I don't believe they ask for them like I used to. Regardless, these children turn into publishers, and once you spend 15 minutes out in service now, they consider that a month. 15 minutes equals a publisher, and with becoming a publisher, there's expectations that are set, and expectations on how you behave, live your life, choices, etc. And that is a very heavy burden for a child. For instance, if I'm 10 years old going door to door, that's a heavy burden to place on a child. And because many of these children don't understand what's happening to them, they want to make their parents happy. You always want to make your parent be proud of you. There's not many avenues for a child to make their parent proud of them because you don't really get accolades for things surrounding school because it's not really that important. What's most important is you going door to door. So if you can get acknowledgement from your parents because you do well at the door, because you want to go door to door, you're going to do so. Now, eventually, these children will turn into adults, people making money, who will then begin their career donating to the organization, their actual money, not just their time, but the money that they make in the outside world. And those poor kids are so indoctrinated, they think it's normal. By the time they're an adult, it's normalized. That leads us right into their volunteer building work. So people are donating their time, their talent, their money in order to build new houses of worship for the Jehovah's Witnesses, which they then will eventually, in a few years, flip for profit. Just take a look at the amount of Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Halls that have been sold in the past few years. This is an office building. That is not a freaking house of worship. That does not bring joy. That's cold and sterile. Kingdom Hall construction workers are Jehovah's Witnesses who are keenly interested in producing high-quality buildings. Their workmanship is often noticed by others. For example, at a recent project in Richmond, Texas, the local building inspector said that the Kingdom Hall roof reflected the best work he had ever seen. All of those trade skills could have went towards their 401k instead of going towards the governing body.